Hello, I'm Rochelle. I'm going to teach a little yoga class. You can move with me, breathe with me, or put me on pause and come back later. That's the one good thing about this not being live. Okay, so come to a nice tall seat. If you need to sit up on something, you can. The idea is if your knees are way up here because your hips are tight, if you get your butt up on something so your hips and your knees can be roughly the same height, there'll be a little more spaciousness there. Spaciousness. That's a good word. That's a good theme for today. Spaciousness. Yeah. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Imagine you're looking up into the sky at all the stars, the Milky Way. But what you're seeing mostly is spaciousness. Space. So imagine that you are everything. But what that mostly consists of is space. So it's just a very small percentage of things that manifest into physical format that you can touch or see, that are tangible. Everything else that you are made of, that the universe is made of, is no-thingness. It's nothingness. It's spaciousness. So yes, we are this form that we can see and feel. But first and foremost, we are primarily that space. So see if you can be that spaciousness. Becoming one with this moment. By not attaching to the physical format of anything. Connecting to that part of you that is everything and mostly space. Feel with this inhale how you can bring more space into your body and feel how that space, that prana, that breath is presence, breathing in that life force that is this moment. That is everything. Some oxygen molecules, but mostly space. See if you can take a little more air to create even more spaciousness in your body. See how long you can make each breath last. Feeling that heart beating inside the chest, and the lungs expanding and contracting with the heartbeat and with the expanding and contracting of the universe, becoming one with this moment. As we start to move, see if you can keep that awareness of the heartbeat and the lungs expanding. See if you can stay with your breath. Staying with each breath as long as you can, using all of your focus, all of your awareness to stay with this breath a little bit longer, instead of letting any of the 10 million things that could hijack your thoughts in this moment, saying no thanks to everything else in this moment other than just being right here with this breath, creating a little more space in our body, in our mind, allowing consciousness to move through us as we become one with this moment. All right, inhale your arms up overhead, squeeze your palms together, gaze up at the thumbs, lift the hands a little bit higher. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Let your head bow to the wisdom of your heart. Lower your hands down. You can stay how you are. I'm just turning to a side view here. See if you can get your eyes to touch your knees. Letting your head be heavy. Relax your shoulders down your back. Stay with your breath. With each exhale, let the shoulders soften down the back a little more. Let the face stay soft. Inhale a little more spaciousness into the back of your heart, filling all the way up. Exhale a little more softness, staying with this breath as long as you can, using your focus, exercising your discipline muscle to not let anything hijack your mind, putting this breath first. All right, now inhale, start to lift your head up. Press your heart forward into your knees. Start to look up. If it feels all right with your neck, drop your head back. Keep the heart lifting, but the shoulders softening. Find your breath. Exhale, round it back out. Tuck your chin to your chest. Pull your belly in and up. Empty all the way. Inhale draws the heart forward. Heart is lifting up, looking up. Draw the shoulders back and down. Exhale, round that spine, tucking everything into a tight little ball. One more time, inhale, radiate the heart forward, fill up, look up. Now bring your hands back behind you, fingers pointing in towards you or away, whatever feels better, and lift up to reverse tabletop. Trying to get your knees, your butt, your shoulders on the same plane. If it's all right with your neck, you can drop your head back. If it's too much on the neck, keep the chin drawing in towards the chest. Press down into the hands and the feet, lift the hips, lift the heart. Find your breath, find your strength, find stillness here. One more breath, press through the hands, press through the feet, lifting the heart. And slowly come back down, hug the eyes in to touch the knees, melt the shoulders down the back, and see if there's any more spaciousness here for you to settle into. See if you just created any space in your body by using your movements, your awareness, and your breath to bring energy into those stuck parts that feel tense. One more time, let's come up reverse tabletop. Knees over ankles, shoulders over hips. Press down through the hands, press down through the feet. Maybe head drops back. Feel the hips and the heart lift one more time. Stay with this breath. And slowly come back down. Hug the eyes in to touch the knees. Relax the shoulders. And now we're just going to come to standing at the top of our mat. All right, you can have your feet together or hip width distance apart. I'm going to change my angle a little bit. There we go. All right, so press your feet down into the ground. Lift your quads up off your knees. Find a nice long spine, meaning you don't tuck the tailbone like underneath of you. You just kind of drop the tailbone down to lengthen through the spine. All right, palms are facing forward, heart is lifting up. Shoulders are softly melting down the back as you lengthen through the crown, growing a little bit taller. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, squeeze the palms together, lift the fingers a little higher. Exhale, swan dive, press down into the feet. Keep your core engaged to protect your back. Fold all the way down, pull the belly in and up out of the way to fold a little deeper. We're gonna hang out here for a couple breaths. Spread your feet as wide as your hips, grab your elbows, and start to sway a little bit. Let your head be heavy, so shake the head out a little bit. Do as I say, not as I do, because I keep looking up so that my voice is directed at the camera, but you're not looking at me, okay? Your head is heavy, shake it around. Start to really sway. Imagine a waterfall pouring forward from the hip joint as you pour forward and find that fluid movement back and forth all around. Release your elbows. Bend your knees. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly roll up. Let your arms and head stay heavy. Press into the feet. Lift the heart. Draw the shoulders up and back and down. Inhale, arms up. Squeeze your palms together. Lift the fingers high. Exhale, swan dive, lengthening all the way down. Empty every last drop of air. Inhale, lift up halfway. Shine your heart forward. Roll your shoulders back. Nice flat spine. Exhale, fold. Grab the back of your ankles. Pull your head down towards your feet. 3 more times just like that. Inhale, rise up. Press into the feet. Exhale, fold. Pull your head down towards the feet. Shoulders out of the ears. Belly in and up out of the way. 2 more times. Make them last even longer. Inhale, a little more space into your spine, into your heart. Exhale, fold a little deeper, emptying all the air to create more space to fold into. One more time, make it the deepest, slowest breath. See if you can stay a little longer and take a little more air. Slowly release that air as you fold your body in half. Bring your hands to the ground. Step back into plank pose. Now your shoulders are over your wrists. So don't look at me. Look down to keep the back of your neck long, okay? Hips about as high as your shoulders. So not sticking up in the air like down dog, but not sinking down either. Nothing drooping, nothing hanging. Press into the hands to lift the hips about shoulder height. Everything roughly parallel to the ground. Your fingers are spread wide and they're pressing into the ground, knuckles pressing down. Become a little longer from your heels to your crown. Find your breath, find your strength, and find stillness here. See if you can feel that heart beating inside the chest, the lungs expanding and contracting. Using all your focus to stay right here with this breath, just a little bit longer. You got this. Lower the knees, and then the chest, and then the chin. Untuck the toes. Pull the heart forward with the hands. Press into the feet to lift the heart up. Roll the shoulders back. So elbows are hugging in against the body and reaching back towards the feet. Press down into the feet. Pull the heart forward. Lift it up a little more. Exhale, slowly lower back down. So the inhale will lift us up, but first we lengthen the heart forward using the hands and then press into the feet to come up a little more. Take one more sip. Slowly let the air out as you slowly roll back down. 2 more times, make them last a little longer. Pull the heart forward, inhale, press into the feet, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, elbows in and back. Exhale, slowly lower down. 1 more time, see if we can make that inhale last for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trying to synchronize the movement. So that whole 5 counts is us coming back down and letting out all that air. Press back to child's pose. You can have your knees together or your knees slightly apart. I think I have to move you. Okay, you want your forehead resting. So if you need to spread your knees more to get your forehead resting on the mat, do that. But get your forehead to rest on the ground here. Your fingers are still spread wide. Pressing into the hands a little bit. Press your sit bones back towards your heels a little more, finding length in your spine. Relax through the head and the neck, melting through the heart, softening through the shoulders. See if you can inhale more spaciousness into the back of your heart and feel your body expanding. On that exhale, see if you can melt through the heart, sinking into that spaciousness you just created. If you want more opening in the shoulders, come up on the fingertips. Head is still resting, wrists and elbows lifting off the ground. Find your breath. Lower your hands back down, curl your toes under. Lift your sit bones up and back, come into downward facing dog. Your head is hanging down so you're not looking at me. Shake your head a little bit. Press into the hands, fingers spread wide. Pressing into the fingers and knuckles. Lifting those sit bones up and back. You can move around a little bit, bending one knee at a time, pedaling it out. Pressing one heel down into the mat. Head is heavy, shake it out. Don't look at the camera. Find your breath. Inhale, come up on the tippy toes. Open mouth, exhale, sink into your heels. 1 more time, make it last a little longer. Inhale through the nose, up high on the toes. Open mouth, exhale, let it all out. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Keep your hips in line. So flex that right foot, point your toes at the ground, and see about your hips being in one line from the side. So we're not lifting that right leg out to the right? We're toes pointing down so our hips stay in line, even if it means you don't lift it as high. Press back through that right heel like you could lengthen your spine here. See if you can sink into the left heel a little bit. Head is heavy, breath is deep. Come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Try to touch your knee to your nose, round it out. Inhale, press up and back. Left heel presses down, right heel presses up. Come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose and step it all the way through. Stack your knee right over your ankle, lower the left knee all the way down. Inhale, rise up. Reach up out of the waist. Find your breath. So we're trying to peel that left hip flexor open here. So feel that. Feel how the right foot is pressing down and drawing back towards you. You're drawing that right hip back into its socket to let that left hip come forward and soften as it comes down. The heart is lifting, the shoulders are soft. Maybe you can gaze up at the thumbs. Now lower your right fingertips down towards the ground. So we're trying to get them to touch, but not by collapsing into it, by lengthening more through the left side. All right, we're still drawing the right hip back in towards the socket to peel that left hip flexor open, but we're lengthening through that whole left side, reaching up through the fingertips. But keep softening through the face, softening through the shoulders, and feel that spaciousness you're creating in that left side as the right fingertips come a little closer to touching the earth. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart and hands down by your sides. Inhale, reach out, lengthen up. Squeeze your palms together, lift your fingers high. Feel this hinge at the hips as you lead with the heart, lengthening all the way down, emptying every last drop. Using the whole length of the inhale to find all that length in the spine as you lift up halfway, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back to plank pose, stacking shoulders over wrists. Back of the neck is long, so you're looking down. Nothing drooping, nothing hanging. Press into the hands, like you're trying to press yourself away from the mat. Lift that space between your shoulders, so instead of sinking in between the shoulder blades, we're pressing the hands into the ground to fill that space behind the heart. Find your breath, find your strength, find stillness here. And now you can either lower knees, chest, chin, baby cobra, or you can lower chaturanga, which means your elbows bend straight back, your shoulders come down to elbow height, no lower, and then you can flip either one foot at a time, coming to the tops of your feet, or both feet at the same time. Inhale, pull your heart forward and let it fill up and lift up as you roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll the toes back out and press into the hands. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Press those sit bones up and back. Maybe you can sink into the heels a little bit more. Stay with this breath a little bit longer. Inhale, lift that left foot up. Flex it. Point the toes at the ground. Keep the hips in line like this. Don't open the hips out to the side. Keep the hips in line. It's going to feel like you're lifting the right hip up and back and lowering the left hip down to keep the hips in line. Find your breath. Inhale up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Round it out. Try to touch it. Slowly let that leg shoot up on the inhale, taking the whole length of the longest breath you can to reach up and back through those toes a little more. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Step it through, knee over ankle. Inhale up, shoulders over hips. Maybe your hands can come together and you can gaze up at the thumbs. Feel the left hip drawing back into the socket to peel that right hip flexor open as you sink in. Becoming one with this moment. Whatever sensation you're feeling. Lower the left fingertips down and find more length through the whole right side to try to get them a little closer to the ground. Heart is lifting, shoulders melting. Find your breath. Find a little more spaciousness through the whole right side as you reach through those fingertips. Inhale back up. Lower hands down. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale lifts you up halfway, fills you up all the way. Exhale, fold. Now, slide your fingers under your toes all the way to the crease in your wrist. Can you see my foot? Yeah? So all the way to the crease in your wrist, try to get the wrist bones down by rocking weight into the toes. Pull your head down towards the ground. Pull your shoulders up out of your ears. Pull your belly in and up out of your way. And pull your head down towards the ground, creating space in your spine and the back of your neck. Maybe starting to straighten into the legs, pressing the sit bones up and back. Stay with this breath a little bit longer. All right, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. So you walk or hop it back and you lower down. Elbows don't bend out to the sides, they bend straight back. Shoulders don't drop below the elbows. Heart reaches forward on the inhale, you fill up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Flexing the foot, toes point at the ground. Come up on your left tippy toes. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Step it through, crescent lunge. Knee over ankle, shoulders over hips. Press the right knee forward more. Make sure it's pressing straight forward, not off to either side. Okay, this part's important. If your knee starts to come over your ankle, take a wider step. Knee over ankle, tracking straight out over that second and third toe. Yeah? Still drawing that right hip back to pull the left hip forward to get both headlights facing forward. Lengthening through the spine, not by tucking the tailbone under, but by lowering the sit bones down to lengthen the spine. Reach up out of the waist. Maybe your hands can come together and you can gaze up at the thumbs. Keep pressing the right knee forward more. It'll help with balance. Keep that lift in your heart. Keep your gaze focused on one thing. And now let your right hand find the back of your left thigh, reverse crescent. Keep pressing the right knee forward, reaching the left hand up. And then cartwheel the left hand down to the ground, rolling the right arm up to stack the shoulders. Gaze up at that right hand. Right knee is pressing straight forward still. Right shoulder is drawing back to open the heart up towards the sky. Right arm reaches forward. Right foot steps back, plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifts the left foot up. Keep the hips in line. Come up on your toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through, crescent lunge. Knee over ankle. Shoulders over hips. Maybe palms together. Maybe gazing up. Check that knee over ankle alignment. Draw the left hip back to inch the right hip forward. Feel the heart lifting and the shoulders melting down the back. Stay with this breath. Left hand finds the back of the right thigh. Left knee presses forward more. Right hand reaches up and back. Right hand plants inside that left foot. Stacking the shoulders, gaze up at the left hand. Roll the left shoulder back. Pressing down into the right hand. Pressing forward with that left knee. Pressing straight back with the right heel. Left arm reaches forward. Left foot steps back. Plank pose. And now from here, see if you can lower down to forearm plank without moving your hands at all. So you just walk or slide the feet back to lower the forearms down. That way the hands will stay just like they were. Fingers spread wide, hands shoulder width distance apart. Shoulders stacked over elbows, hands directly out in front of elbows. Look down to keep the back of your neck long. Nothing drooping, nothing hanging. Feel the quads lifting up, feel the core engaged as the belly draws in and up. Now see if you can be any longer from your heels to your crown. Feel your strength here. Find stillness. Stay with this breath. Now walk your feet in, let your booty go up like dolphin pose. Let your head be heavy. Let your breath be deep. Keep pressing into the hands and the forearms and imagining that you're pressing them forward too. Trying to stretch the mat out. Head is heavy, soften the shoulders out of the ears. Maybe step your feet in a little bit closer. Now reach the right leg up. Keep your hips in line. Keep your head heavy. So flex that foot, point the toes at the ground. Now come up on the tippy toes of that left foot and slowly sink the left heel down as the right heel comes down to meet it. Head is heavy. Inhale, left foot reaches up. Keep your hips in line. Flex that foot, point the toes down. Find your breath. Come up on the tippy toes. Exhale, lower back down. And now walk your feet back again into forearm plank. So booty same height as the shoulders now, hands rooting into the mat. Back of the neck long. And now come back up to plank. Walking your feet in to stack the shoulders over the wrists. And now lift up, downward facing dog. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Press into the hands. Draw the shoulders out of the ears. And become one with this moment. Inhale, reach the right foot up high. Exhale, draw the right knee towards the right wrist and bring it down for pigeon pose. Okay, lower the left knee down. Wiggle those left toes back a little bit more. And maybe someday you'll get this right foot, this right shin parallel to the top edge of the mat, but probably not today, maybe not ever. That's okay. If your leg is straight like that, you want to keep that foot flexed. Or if you have tricky knees, you might need to flex that foot too. All right, so you're trying to keep your hips in line here. As you start to walk your hands forward, keep the spine long and lower all the way down so your forehead is resting on the earth. Relax through your fingers, your arms, your shoulders. Take that inhale to that space behind your heart and let it fill you up, creating a little more space there. On the exhale, see if you can melt into that space, letting go. See how long you can make this breath last, using all your focus, all your awareness to stay with this breath a little bit longer. Like this breath was all that really mattered. Like this moment was all you'd ever have. Slowly come back up and roll onto the right hip. Bring the left foot up and around, flat on the ground outside that knee. Try to get the left sit bone down. If the right heel is in the way, scooch it out. Press into the sit bones, lift up through the heart. Reach the right arm up high. Plant the left fingertips at the base of the spine and start to gaze out over the left shoulder. Hook that right elbow outside the knee for leverage. Use that leverage to twist the spine open. Gazing back over the left shoulder. Draw the left shoulder back more. Be mindful of your neck in this one. You can use a little bit of strength and a little bit of leverage, but let your gaze just gently follow the lead of that shoulder. Inhale, find a little more length in your spine, fill all the way up. On the exhale, use that leverage. Find a little more depth in your twist. So you're gazing back over the left shoulder. I'm just facing you so that you can hear me, right? But gazing back over that shoulder, twisting your spine open. One more inhale, make it last. Find a little more space. On the exhale, soften the face, soften the shoulders. After you're empty, twist a little deeper. Now just your head slowly turns to gaze out over the right shoulder and maybe down the shoulder a little bit snooty-like. Now slowly your whole spine unwinds through center. Find a little counter twist on the right. Maybe your left hand comes up or reaches back. And slowly come back up. Now we're going to try to stack the shins. So left ankle on top of right knee, and ideally left knee on top of right ankle, but you might have some spaciousness here, right? If your hips aren't super open, you probably look like you have some space here like this. But ideally your knee will be down on your foot. You can use a little pressure to try to help it down, but more importantly, use your breath. Take this breath right to that spot where you feel the restriction. See if you can allow it to create some spaciousness. And on the exhale, settle into that spaciousness, letting go, becoming one with this moment. See how long you can make this breath last. And release. Cross your ankles, plant your hands. You can hop it back, chaturanga if you like, or just step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifts the left foot high. Exhale, draws the left knee to the left wrist. Half pigeon. Right knee comes down, right toes reach back, hips come into line. Keep the length in your spine as you walk forward. Bring your forehead down to rest. Relax through your shoulders. Stay with this breath. See how long you can make this breath last. See if you can make it just a little bit longer. Not in any rush to finish this breath. Kind of the opposite of being in a rush. Being right here, right now, wanting this breath, wanting this moment to last a little bit longer. These ugly boots are ruining my beautiful view. Slowly come back up, roll onto the left hip. Bring your right foot up and around flat. Try to get the right glute down. Lengthen through the spine, plant the right fingertips at the base of the spine, reach the left hand up. Hook the elbow outside the knee for leverage. Use that leverage, twist your spine open. Gaze out over the right shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back a little more. Inhale, a little more length into your spine, creating space. Keep all that space and length, but exhale. Soften the face, soften the shoulders, twist a little deeper. One more breath. How long can you make it last? Can you be right here, right now? Slowly, just the head turns to the left, gazes out over the left shoulder and down it. A little snooty-like, yeah? Slowly unravel through center, finding that counter twist. And slowly come back up. Now we're trying to stack the left ankle, the right ankle on the left knee. Trying to get those, get those shins parallel to the top edge of the mat. Even if that means you have a lot of spaciousness here, okay? If you want, you can try to help that right knee down with a little bit of pressure, but more importantly, your breath. Inhale right to that spot where you feel it the most. Exhale, letting some of that tension leave our body, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, using all of your awareness, all of your attention to be right here in this breath, fully occupying your body, your mind with this prana, this life force, this presence you're breathing in to create space, becoming one with this moment. And release. Cross your ankles, plant your hands. You can hop back chaturanga or just slowly come back downward facing dog. Lower down to your knees. We're just going to sit onto the left hip, swing the legs out in front, and we're going to lie down on our back. Bring your right hand onto your belly and your left hand onto your heart. Tuck your chin just a little bit to find length in the back of your neck. Let your toes fall open. Feel your body expanding and contracting. Feel your heart beating inside of your chest and your lungs expanding and contracting with the heartbeat, with the universe. Imagine looking up into space at the stars. And instead of focusing on the stars that you can see, focusing on the vastness of the spaciousness that we mostly are made of. See if you can sense that spaciousness within you. Imagine if you could breathe a little bit deeper on this next inhale, you could heal the whole world. See if you can keep sipping air into a couple more places. Just as slowly letting that air back out, letting the belly rise and fall like the ocean's tide. Now let the tide take you away. Imagine the tide coming in as you inhale, let it fill you all the way up. And as you exhale it all back out to sea, belly drops back down. See if you can keep that visual of the ocean's tide lifting you up, filling you up. And then sending it all back out to sea as you exhale and contract. See if you can be okay with this constant expanding and contracting of yourself, of the universe, by becoming one with this moment, feeling your heart beating with the ocean's tide. Slowly roll onto your right side, taking your time, just curling into a little ball here. This pose is supposed to remind us to go easy with ourselves, holding yourself just like you would hold a small child. No judgment, no expectation, definitely no harshness. Just holding yourself in this place of sweetness. Being okay with exactly what is, exactly who you are in this moment. Being one with this moment. Slowly come back up to a seat. Find a nice tall spine, lifting through the heart. Lift the shoulders up, draw them back and down. Inhale, reach out, lengthen up. Bring all that good energy we created during class. Squeeze it together in your palms. Feel that energy there in your hands. Feel that warmth, that sensation of life, that prana, that life force moving through you. Keep awareness of that subtle energy body and pull it right down to the forehead. And use it here for good, pure thoughts. Draw it down right in front of the lips. Feel that warmth, feel that sensation. Using it here for good, pure communication. Drawing it down into the heart, sealing it into the heart. Feel that energy from your palms. Coming into the heart for good, pure intentions. The head bows to the wisdom of the heart. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. When we are in that place, we are one. Namaste.